Welcome back to the channel in my basement workshop, repair, facility, hangar, whatever, here in central Indiana. This is a video about the tire selection for the Super Timber, this guy right here that I just got about 10 days ago. And I've learned a lot about it since then, and mostly I really like it. But before that, coming up in a couple of weeks is the National Fun Fly at Muncie. I'll be there on Saturday, weather permitting, and I'm going to be, for the first time ever, instructing with Buddy Box. So wish my airplanes and the students good luck, because I've never done this before. Back to the main subject. The Super Timber is a really nice airplane. Flies great, easy to take apart, easy to put together. You've seen the video maybe before this one on putting it together. It went together in practically no time at all, really quick. But I took it out to fly it, and well, I found an issue with these that you may have seen in other videos. These are the tires that come with it, and this tire is inflated to almost the recommended diameter. It's inflated to 130 millimeters, about a little over 4 inches, about 4.5 actually. And you can see what it looks like compared to the tires that are currently on here. Actually, I think it's inflated to 5 inches. The difference is between the tires that are on here, which are Dubro Super Lites, 4.5 inches. And these is, when these hit the runway, they bounce like that. And so a typical landing on a runway, especially hard surface runway, with this airplane looks like this. Down, tail goes down, nose comes up, tail comes up, like that. And you will see that in the second video in this series. So there are 5 videos. The first one is a little bragging on my part. It's a landing with my Cessna 150, and it's what we hope every landing we make would look like. And let's be honest about it. If you're on a commercial flight or you happen to be a private pilot, how do you judge the skill of the pilot? On the takeoff, not so much. Climb out, not so much. Cruise, not so much. Descent, not so much. Landing, oh yeah. Smooth landing is the hallmark of a good pilot in most people's opinion. Well, let me tell you, I have taken literally thousands of people on airplane rides, mainly as a result of my experience with Civil Air Patrol. And inevitably, they all are anxious about the landing, because that's the point at which they come back in contact with the earth, and it is the point that is fraught with problems and danger. And bringing the airplane in for a nice smooth landing, or even if you bounce a little, or maybe you don't keep the airplane quite straight on the runway, but as long as it's safe, they're happy. But they're really happy if you can make a landing where they have to ask you, are we on the ground yet? And I've made a few of those, but not every time by any stretch of the imagination. But I've never landed an airplane, scale or full scale, that does what this one does when it lands. And you're going to see that in the videos. It's not particularly dangerous, but it just doesn't look good. And you're going to see a marked difference between the inflatable tires that come on the airplane and the Dubros that are on here now. These Dubros, I actually didn't buy them per se. They came off of my SWS balsa timber that's sitting over here on the rack. They fit perfectly. There's no modification required. The wheel is just a little narrower on the axles than the stock wheels that come. So there's maybe few millimeters of play back and forth on the axle, but as you will see, they work just fine. If you buy this airplane and you want to keep those tires, that's fine, but I would suggest you go on the Dubro site and buy 4.5-inch Super Lite wheels. These are foam. They're a little bit compressible, but not soft, and they seem to work just fine. Oh, and by the way, you can also order these from Horizon. They are in stock. They have replacement wheels for the SWS Timber. I think they're 1650 or something, and you get all three wheels, the two mains and the tail wheel in that kit. So, and again, those are the ones that are on here right now, and I'm very happy with them. So, let's go over the videos. Number one, the Cessna 150 landing at Corsair Field. Oh, and by the way, the film you're going to see at Corsair Field is kind of interesting. We are next door to a huge landfill, and they're in the process of digging out a big pit in that landfill and hauling the dirt across the road and piling it up on a farm field right next to us. And it's going to be right in our landing path for runway 29. Not the best situation. You'll see some vehicles going back and forth, some pans and dump trucks that are hauling dirt over there for that big hill they're creating. I made a joke the other day, I don't know if they're building a landfill or a ski resort here in central Indiana. This will be a big tall pile of dirt when they're finished, which is potentially going to be an issue for our field long term. And as soon as they get that semi-mountain finished, they're going to start dumping garbage in that big pit, and then they're going to be coming back and hauling the dirt back over to the landfill. So we're going to be in this situation in the summertime, apparently for a long time to come. And it used to be a very nice, quiet place, but I don't know. We'll see how it turns out long term. Anyway, that's the first one. Second one is landing this Super Timber on geotex at a different field out east of town, and you will see it do the bounce. Like that. The third one is landing with the original tires at Corsair Field, and the bounce on grass is substantially reduced. I've made several grass landings on two different fields. The first one you saw where the geotex was also has a grass strip, and then over at Corsair Field, which is on the other side of Indianapolis on the west side. And the bounce is not as pronounced on grass, but it's still there. And then the last two are going to be with these tires on it, and I think you're going to see a marked difference. I'm not the best RC pilot in the world by any stretch of the imagination. I consider myself a beginning intermediate pilot, but you'll see that these two landings are much better, and they are typical of all the landings that I have made on these Dubro tires. In conclusion, thank you for watching. I hope you learned something from this video. I hope you have a great summer of flying wherever you are in this world of ours. I think most of my, according to the analytics, most of my viewers are here in the United States, but I also have people in Europe and Canada who are watching these videos as well. So wherever you are, have a great summer, and I'll be back soon with some more content. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.